So this will be the second episode of this game. We're partway through the story. This is Tangle Tower. It is a murder mystery, fully voice acted, great characters. My tea is incredibly hot. It's nothing to do with the game, but I can't hold it anymore. The conceit is that there is that we've come into Tangle Tower, and it is on an island. There are two towers on the island that connect through the lobby, and there are the Fellows family and the Pointer family, and I think it's Freya Fellow has been murdered while she was painting, and oh no, her painting has a knife in it with blood on it, real blood, not paint blood, and so the painting did it. No, it didn't. Clearly it didn't. But I do suggest taking a look at the art style, checking the game out. It's very good. Got all of our characters. Yes, Freya. Freya's the dead one. Alright, where are we going? Murdermost Owl. Yes, that's why I brought my murder mug. We have a couple of rooms we haven't done much with. It is kind of a point-and-click adventure type thing, but what I really enjoy about it, other than like the art style and the acting and like basically everything about this game, is when you go to show people evidence, it lets you know if you've shown them that evidence already. So let's go to this room. See what's up in the aviary. Ah, new characters. Alright, let's click at things first, though. I don't like interacting with characters until I've snooped through all their stuff.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle.
Suspicious! I mean, probably not.
Check out that butterfly.
Yeah, check it out.
Looks evil.
It's evil.
Judgmental.
Judgmentally evil. Alright. Birds.
They're bird cages.
Oh, what? Hey, OBS, what you doing? Why'd you freeze? Okay, I can fix this. As I was saying before, the game it's fairly new. We started playing it earlier this week, and it's a point-and-click murder mystery adventure. It appears that a painting has killed someone, which of course is not gonna be the case. But it probably has some meaning. Oh, wow, okay, it did save. Well, that's fine, we didn't do much. All we did was we came into this room. And I touched this book.
My little writing desk. It's kinda cute.
There's nothing written in the book, although someone's torn a page out of the middle. Check out that butterfly.
Looks evil.
Wow, judgmental.
Is sound only coming through one ear for the rest of you? Oh, don't tell me I have a sound problem,
They're
too.
bird cages. But the birds are coming and going freely.
What a good start to the day.
Oh, it totally is.
I have two things plugged into the mixer. It's supposed to be left and right, and for some reason, the right ear, when I plug it in, puts everything only into the left, which kind of makes me think that cable might be broken. Figure it out later. It's working right now. That's all that matters.
Oh, just beautiful. What is it?
Huh?
Sort of a delicate jade, but with a little seafoam green, is that right?
Sorry?
Your hair, dear! Which shade do you use? It's lovely. And that shape. You're really pushing the
You're more bird lady than I was expecting.
Thanks. I do what I can to offset Grimoire's beige on brown ensemble.
Detectives don't need to be brightly colored. We prefer to blend into the background.
Oh, you're the detective? Delightful. Penny Pointer, pleasure.
Is that short for Penelope?
Officially, yes, but I never can be bothered with all 4 syllables of it. Penelope sounds a little ostentatious coming out of the mouth, don't you think?
Sure. Yeah.
20-something, Aquarius, love to travel, and nearly all of my friends are birds.
You don't say.
Where to?
Anywhere at all, as long as it has species worth studying. Ornithology, they call it. I call it the only thing I've ever been good at.
And have you studied the birds here at Tangle Tower?
But of course! Where else do you think I developed my love of the field? No matter where I go, I always find myself coming home to Tangle Tower.
Because of the birds.
Oh, no, because of him! Silly to admit, but I suppose I can't bear for us to be apart.
Who are you talking about?
Oh, don't you know? My fiancé, dear Fitz. He's not really the traveling type, you see.
Fitz Fellow.
The very one.
You're engaged to a member of the Fellow family?
I thought Fitz was hanging out with Poppy.
I'm not especially interested in whatever tedious feuding goes on between our 2 families.
Okay.
Fitz and I find it much easier to stay out of it altogether.
Tell me about yesterday, then.
I awoke early and headed down into the greenhouse to see Fitz. He's always there. Crack of dawn, every morning like clockwork.
How come?
It's where he's happiest. That, and he has a great deal of work to do every day. Watering, pruning, mulching, whatever that is.
Do you help him with the work in the greenhouse?
Oh, no. I wouldn't dream of it. I'd probably break something.
So, you stayed with Fitz the whole day?
No. In the early afternoon, he went back inside. Rather suddenly, as it happens.
Did he say why?
He didn't. Probably just a touch of heat stroke, the poor dear. He's more delicate than you'd think.
What did you do after that?
Let's see. I returned to the aviary to feed my birds.
And how many birds are you responsible for?
Officially 4, but in truth it's more like 400.
Can they not feed themselves?
Of course. And they often do. But I think they just like the company.
Okay.
As do I.
Oh. Alright. Statement.
Sometime in the evening, I left the aviary and headed back towards my room. But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. He was muttering something. Seemed a bit upset, the poor dear. I followed him down, but the grand hall was empty by the time I got there. Empty aside from Detective Hawkshaw, who was loitering over by the library. I don't know what it was, but she looked a little lost. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow Tower. I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path. For some reason, he was coming out of Fitz's bedroom. I looked rather lost, too. I told him I was looking for Uncle. He suggested we look up in Flora's tower room. We could see from the hallway. The door was off its hinges. I knew then something was terribly wrong. A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya. Uncle Pointer was there. Fitz, too, standing over in the corner with Fifi and Poppy.
What about Flora?
Of course, silent as ever. Uncle suggested we should leave. Give the others some space, you know. So he and I both returned to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Alright. Look around your room a bit more.
We can get into Penny's room now.
That's nice.
Now, like, right now?
Later. I want to poke at her other
And
birds.
especially fancy cage.
And it's home to 3 especially fancy birds.
Evidence! Birds in a cage.
What's with those little windows down there?
I think they're there for draining rainwater.
Oh,
I don't like mirrors. They steal your soul.
how do you get your hair so symmetrical without using a mirror?
I do it by weight. I can feel if one side is heavier than the other.
Bird diagrams. Hand-painted.
They're beautiful. Someone really knows their stuff.
Does this count as being outdoors?
Yeah. No. Doesn't matter.
Alright. I mean, I know we can go into your room, but I have so many things I can ask you about.
A fellow bird enthusiast. She's quite the expert, truth be told. Studied them professionally at one point. I think her father taught her.
Are you friends with Flora?
A little bit.
A little bit friends.
She's one for the peace and quiet. I dare say I'm a little too loud for her.
I can see that.
I do admire her, though, really. Always felt like she could have done better than settle for Felix.
Ouch.
I said it.
Alright, well, tell me about Felix then.
I must say, I really don't care for the den of self-delusion that he's retreated into. People are better off when they just let themselves be themselves. Between you and me, I think Felix is secretly rather miserable.
Okay, how about Fifi?
She mostly ignores me, if I'm honest.
How come?
Well, we're not quite on the same intellectual level.
Oh. I mean, well, you don't need to.
No, no, it's quite all right. I'm comfortable with it.
How about
She's
this
a most
one?
unsavory little...
You don't like Hawkshaw, huh?
She was incredibly rude about my appearance.
Which part? The giant bird arms, or...
If I were her, I'd go easy on the judgment of others. I mean, look at her. She looks like the ghost of a scarecrow. I just wish Uncle Pointer would tell her to behave herself.
Professor Pointer? Why him?
Oh, it was Uncle that called her in. She's his responsibility. Did
Okay.
you not know that?
So we know, like, Detective Hawkshaw is not here for the murder case. They were here to look for something else before the murder happened.
She'd sit in the aviary, first thing in the morning, and paint the birds. Sometimes she'd ask me their names.
Freya was interested in studying bird species too?
No, just wanted to know their names. Isabelle, Clementine, Myrtle, Lysandre, Genevieve.
Got it, thanks.
For my 21st birthday, she gave me a framed painting. All the birds from a single spring, with their names written underneath. I can't begin to tell you how much I've treasured it.
Sounds like you two were close.
I feel like I always struggled to articulate my admiration for her. But she had a way of understanding unspoken things.
Alright. And Fitz, your
Isn't
fiance?
he strapping?
He is big.
And so brooding.
Kinda sulky, yeah.
I can never tell
Yes.
what's going on in that beautiful head of his.
I want bird arms.
It just sounds like you don't know him
They
very
just
well.
look like fun.
Don't remember asking for your input.
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, she's beautiful. Who is she? Wait, is that me?
Alright, and Poppy?
Oh, did you talk to Poppy already?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did you make any notes of what she told you?
Yeah, I did.
Lovely. Burn them. It'll all be lies.
Why would Poppy lie to us?
Because that's what she does. She's a snake. Looks like one, too.
Don't you think you're being a little unfair, Penny?
She started it.
Alright. What do we want to start with? Let's go with this trowel that...
Oh, did Fitz show you that?
Oh, you did give it to her.
Not exactly.
Interesting.
We found it hidden under his bed.
Ah, right.
Or maybe she didn't, but she's the only one who's recognized it. Maricat! Hey, thank you for gifting subs to Aquina Zero, Seminish Magpies, Atrociously Sinister, Inquisitor Gaia, and Ark of the Conclave. Alright, let's... Oh, Feathers. She's a bird person.
There used to be all kinds of birds here at Tangle Tower. The most fascinating breeds, all totally unique.
Used to be? There are birds all over the place.
Most of them are rather ordinary, I'm afraid.
What happened to the non-ordinary ones?
That is a very good question.
She's not going to tell us. Alright, how about this bird book?
Somebody taking an interest in extinct animals.
Extinct.
Oh, yes. The book is very old. Most of the birds in it are long gone.
Well, what about this bird, though? The ink dip.
This one was thought to be extinct for a long time. Then one was found here at Tangle Tower.
So it's not extinct.
You misunderstand. It was the last one. The very last.
Oh.
Huh. Alright. Tell me about your birds.
I must say the girls are awfully well behaved today. I think they know we're in the presence of company.
They belong to you? Why do you keep them in a cage?
They need a special diet, particular treatment. I let them out to fly occasionally, of course. But they're all one of a kind. I couldn't let anything happen to them.
Like, she said she was responsible before, and I'm not sure if the bird on her head is an actual bird or not. So I don't know if it's like that one and those three, or if there's a bird missing.
Do they have names?
Of course. Let me introduce you to Tabitha, Tamara, and Tatiana.
I've already forgotten all three of those names.
Which one is which?
Oh, that's simple. Tatiana is the oldest, Tabitha is the most patient, and Tamara has the best sense of rhythm.
Glad we cleared that up.
What about the one on your head?
On my head? It's just my hat. It doesn't
Oh,
have a name. Who
you
named
are
it?
missing a bird. Where's your fourth bird? Lady, where's your fourth bird?
You know, it's probably quite impressive. To a visitor, fresh eyes and all that.
Not to you?
Try living in it for 20 years. The sheen wears off. If it wasn't for my fits, I'd have little reason to stay.
What about inheritance? You're the next oldest pointer after your uncle, aren't you?
Well, thank you very much for phrasing it like that. But no, any money left in the Pointer family will pass down directly to Poppy.
Is that fair?
I thought Puppy didn't have any
Less, to be
claim.
perfectly honest.
Or maybe that was Fifi.
Finally, I get to see a detective's case file.
That's a very specific thing to be excited about.
Oh, only last week I asked that miserable hawkshot woman if I could see her case notes.
I'm guessing she said no.
Would have been much more polite if she had just said no. Instead, she was quite rude to me. Accused me of being, what was it? A shallow sensationalist. I'm sure I've read about this creature somewhere. Don't remember anything about him playing the harp, though.
Okay.
Hello. Who penned this juicy little number?
We don't know. It's not signed.
An anonymous letter? Classic clue.
How about this portrait?
I doubt Freya intended it, but the overall effect is a little unsettling. Don't you think? It's Flora that's the problem. She's an inescapably haunting presence, bless her. Gaudy old thing, isn't it? Flora seems very fond of it. I've never understood why. But then I could say the same thing about her husband.
Most of the dialogue seems to have, or most of them seem to react to stuff. There's been the occasional thing where they won't.
Poppy's gramophone. She's had it for a long time. As a young child, she'd call it her mama phone, on account of it belonging to her mother.
That's cute.
Oh yes, adorable.
You don't seem to think so.
Terrible.
You recognize it?
The color scheme. 3 different pinks. Obscene.
Obscene.
Freya doesn't take very good care of her paints, does she? But then she was always rather bohemian. Had her own priorities. Ooh, delightful. More of a gemstone than a fruit, isn't it?
Inedible, too, I think.
Yes. At one point I thought Fitz might be growing them to sell them. But honestly, I think he just likes the way they look. Haven't seen this one in a while. He lives in the music room, doesn't he?
Currently.
Looks a little simple for Poppy, doesn't it? Thought she was a grade 12 or something.
I didn't know there were that many grades.
I'm sure they invented some new ones just for her.
Alright. Hey, Bleeding Toast, how's it going?
I can't decide what's worse. How she looks here, or how she looks now.
Do you know who this is? In the photo?
Oh, absolutely no idea.
Liar.
Lovely. Ooh, a secret diary.
That's our guess, too.
Excellent.
She's just really into it, isn't she?
Very nice.
You've seen these before?
Yes.
All of them. Even this one of...
Yes. I know a lot of people rather like this painting, but it's a little much for me. I find it overbearing. And for some reason, it makes me feel bad for Freya. I think she was more troubled than we knew. Freya was very talented, even at that age.
Do you know how old this photo is?
Not sure. Must be a couple of years at least. Sometime before Fiona settled on her current style. If I'm not mistaken, that little red and white one is supposed to be a bird of some kind. A bit vain to carve wooden figurines of oneself, isn't it? It's that bird. But these must have been drawn at least a year ago. Oh, how sad.
Alright. So there was a bird, it's missing. Probably. But we can go to Kenny's room now. So we're gonna see if we can find her secrets. She's clearly missing a bird.
A little bedtime reading?
Unless the fourth bird was the bird that's gone.
Let's see.
That was Freya's. Is it Freya's? No. What's her name? The other one.
Romance novels, detective novels, and
What?
this one appears to be both.
Nice.
A little tea set, most recently used.
One of the cups has tea in it.
What's in the other one?
Birdseed. It's a birdhouse.
Are those real birds? Nope. They're wooden.
Oh, a puzzle.
They're using up all the perches. What if a real bird wanted to use it?
Swap the possession of the 7 birds. Okay. But what am I swapping to? I probably need to make them go in order. What's the start? Or do I need them all to be able to see?
Nope.
There must be some logic to how the birds are arranged. Something to do with those white lines.
Something to do with the white lines, maybe. I don't know, this one would have to go down. Maybe be in the middle.
Nothing.
I think the birds are related to each other.
Related to each other. You got the clue?
I guess that's wrong.
It's a family tree. The colors and eyes combine as they go down the family line. You'll need to start with blue and yellow at the top.
Alright. Blue and yellow makes probably a stronger green. If we put white here, not there. Probably red.
That's the one.
There, okay.
Hey, not bad. Did the door open? What's in there?
Now I'll get her! A ripped piece of paper crumpled into a ball. Red flower petals were found inside. A message is angrily scrawled on the paper. Now I'll get her. Flower petals originate from red roses growing atop a rooftop garden. There's only 2 people who can get access to that garden, though. So that's not great. Alright, you're poking
Traveling cases.
Empty. All of them.
That's some flower.
There's something weird about it. It just feels out of place.
Brightly colored flower with an unusual shape. Looks very healthy and well looked after. The soil in the pot looks fresh and moist. It's also an unusual blue color. Okay, Bits might know more about that.
Ever get the feeling you're being watched?
The mannequins don't have eyes, though.
That's not a comforting sentence.
Yes, the eyeless mannequins.
Looks like nature invited itself in. Rude.
Rude. Rude of nature. Alright, what room is this? Ah. Astronomy room.
You know, I've always wanted one of those.
A mechanical solar system? What would you do with it?
I would look at it.
Yeah, let's look at it.
Wait a minute.
Oh no, it's a puzzle.
Earth in the middle. Sun on the outside. How old is this thing?
Rotate the 5 planets, sun and the moon, around the middle. Okay. Oh, I see. Am I trying to fill in the... And how do I get this one? Like that?
That's the one.
Cool. Got
Hey,
there.
not bad. Did you hear that? Something unlocked.
There's a little hatch underneath? What's in there?
A bunch of paper. Looks like somebody's research.
Various research and diagrams. A golden beetle, named for its exoskeleton, composed of a mineral approximately 90% identical to gold. Has a lifespan of several years, fends off predators with a loud hiss, records of over 95 decibels. And by being completely undigestible, this mistid has a somewhat spurious reputation for causing ill fortune to those who see it. Alright. What else we got?
It's a chart of the solar system. Which planet are you from, Sally? It's too cloudy to see any stars right now.
It's also daytime. Pretty.
It's tidier than my desk. The notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So, even the most well-used notebooks start off blank.
Hey, Geeblock. Thank you for the 200-bit cheer. So glad it's Tangle Tower, not Tingle Tower. Oh, Tingle Tower would be a very different game, but it would be interesting.
The bell jar. It's empty.
What do people normally keep in bell jars?
Other than bells, you mean?
What is it?
It's, clearly some kind of large device.
You're not wrong.
I'm playing this one on the Switch, but I think it's probably... I think it's available on mobile.
Trinkets.
But I could be wrong about that.
They're clearly gizmos.
Let's at least introduce ourselves before touching his telescope.
But I like touching
Always a
things
good
without
rule.
introducing myself. Fine.
Shh, listen, do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet, and yet so loud.
Do you want a
What
tinfoil
are they
hat
whispering
instead?
about? Are they spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Well, tell me about yourself.
Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And, of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh, no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published 17 books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Was it astronomy or astrology you posted
My
about?
field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return, nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos.
Astrology.
Working to
Got it.
translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the cosmos I say hi.
And
The
yesterday?
day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually, I returned to my tower and buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite. Normally, I would be the last to find out about such a thing. But a curious tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening.
Hey, Star Wars. Thanks for the 1000-bit cheer. Looks like a game I would enjoy, thank you. I honestly think this is a great game. I think it's definitely worth checking out.
I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't find the book I wanted, so I figured Fiona must have borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand
This
Hall.
little animation style.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She looked impatient and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever, then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter. I had no desire to invade their privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason. I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Alright. Okay, I think I've met all the people now. Tell me about Flora.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but, I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end.
She is really quiet. I expect that she is going to talk a lot at some point, and it's going to be amazing. Tell me about the detective.
Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I simply assumed all detectives were sharp, rigorous, and thorough. Then, of course, I met you.
Oof. Ouch. And yourself?
I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Yeah. No. Felix?
He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is, if he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends.
Oof. Drenched in that sarcasm.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
Right? What about Penny?
Ah, Penelope, our resident ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this moment in time, until she marries the gardener.
She'll still be your niece.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows.
Not
Like
fond of them,
rats
are you?
deserting a sinking ship.
Okay. Fifi?
Ah, yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the
think she'd
type to
care.
impress her will on others.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate.
I know, he's
very
definitely not into
different
science.
wavelengths. Literally.
He's very much not into science.
What do you want me to say?
Oh, I need to tell
He's
him
the
the gardener.
gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived. My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Oh, no. I can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Away. She went away.
Okay, that seems like an uncomfortable topic.
So which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are 2 towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her family.
With Felix, you mean? Her husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. But I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade. Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is. Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar. I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather vulgar. Curious little thing, isn't it? You know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
Yeah.
Pointer property originally, purloined by the fellows. Typical. I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends. Is this important?
Possibly.
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all. Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me.
Yeah, I bet you would love it if we pinned this on Fitz, wouldn't you?
Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes. Oh, my. This is the first piece that Primrose ever learnt on the piano. Primrose, that is Poppy's mother. She passed it down to Poppy when she started teaching her how to play.
Poppy's piano teacher was her mother.
Of course. Warms my heart to know that after everything, Poppy still has it up on her wall. What a precious photograph. She hasn't changed a bit, has she?
Who?
Oh, if you don't know, perhaps I don't either.
I mean, we do, but that's really funny.
I've seen those earmuffs before. They're the ones Fitz always wears when he's out the front gardening.
Always wears.
Whenever I've seen him, yes. I think you may wish to adjust your threshold of what you consider to be a clue.
Rude.
That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book, better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put. A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an outpouring of one's soul.
How do you know it's a diary?
I suppose I don't, but it does look like a diary. These were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
I mean, Hawkshaw's not been here for super long.
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
What a fascinating interpretation.
He's right, though. It is a big red thing.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there. This looks a little rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know. This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license. Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it. That's rather a small cage for 3 birds, isn't it? But then, aren't we all trapped in a cage? Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
Oh, I don't know about that.
What kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist.
Oh,
Best in the field. That's a flower joke, but she was.
Interesting. So, we found some research. What's up with this golden beetle? Is this something you're studying?
I can't help you, I'm afraid. I think it must be something left behind by a previous inhabitant of Tangle Tower. I'm not the first scientist to ever walk these halls, you know.
Well, it wasn't in the halls. It was in your astronomy tower.
Oh, doesn't want to talk about it.
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
Okay. Going. Okay, so I come back here to do that. Before we do that, I think this was the only puzzle I left out. So let's do that.
Is that a clock?
If it is.
Nope, miss when I do that.
Reset the puzzle.
No, this is that.
Nope.
So moving any of the hands turns the adjacent hands in the opposite direction. It's like cogs on a machine.
Yes, know that.
I guess that's wrong.
Did you work out what direction each hand needs to be facing? Each one ends with a little hoop. Try looking through the hoop and ignoring the rest.
Okay, no, I've done that.
Nothing.
It's just numbers on a clock. 3 on the right, 6 on the bottom, 9 on the left, and 12 on the top. You only need 90-degree angles. That should make it easier to work out.
Seraphim, hey, thanks for the raid. How you doing? Oh, that's not quite right. Just gonna reset this.
Reset the puzzle?
So I can't just do that. Right.
Reset the puzzle?
Ugh. I can get 3 of them, and then I always goof up on a 4th. Okay. Now this down. Here. I want to turn this to 3. And I need this one. Still off with my 12.
Reset the puzzle. Reset the puzzle.
Oh, this is annoying.
That's the one.
Got there.
Hey, not bad.
Ugh.
What's in the box?
A little tool thing? Looks like a telescope, but I'm not actually sure what it is.
Small brass tool with curved glass lens. It has a screw at the base. Alright. Okay, let's start from here.
You know the guy in the other tower? Weird astronomer.
Can you see him from your window? Can he see you?
What do you know about Penny?
I can't really imagine those two being friends, to be honest.
You never know.
People.
Do you know anything about these birds? Or birds in general? Do you know anything about this beetle?
Alright.
Percival Pointer. Good old... So, what do you reckon? See the murderer?
I don't know, maybe. We still need...
That is not information we're willing to share at this time.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on him. Holds on to a lot of bitterness, does old Pointer. Just because he's always struggled to support his family. Slightly pathetic, really.
And how long have you known him?
Over 35 years.
Childhood friends? Rivals?
Don't know if I'd do him the honor of considering him my rival. Penelope seems to have really settled into a groove. She struggled a bit when she was younger. Always a little estranged.
How come?
Well, she was mostly raised by her uncle, and he really only makes time for his own daughter. Now, of course, she's bringing the two families together through her marriage. It's a nice gesture, heartfelt, but futile.
Alright then.
These drawings are quite precious. I'm surprised Flora let you see them.
What happened to the bird? Did it die?
I don't know. Seems likely, though, doesn't it? Bizarre things, aren't they? Penelope seems rather attached to them.
Do you not feel sorry for them in that little cage?
Come now, I'm sure they could leave if they really wanted to. Goodness me! That looks like it might belong to Fitz. What's this all about? Some kind of rare jewel?
I'm pretty sure the research is about a real insect.
If it's made of gold, then it's made of gold.
It's alright then.
Why don't you ask Fiona about that one? Looks like her area of expertise.
Yeah, I kind of wondered if it was more about a microscope than a telescope. Let's see. Fiona's hanging out here.
Name: Penelope Pointer. Age: 27. Profession: ornithologist. Likes: birds. Dislikes: insects. Notes: Penelope is very beautiful. I have never had very much in common with her. Name: Percival Pointer. Age: 57. Profession: none.
I'm pretty sure he's an astronomer.
Oh yes, of course. How uncharacteristically forgetful of me.
Uh-huh.
A book. My book.
And what's in it?
Pages. There is a drawing of me, a drawing of Detective Hawkshaw, and a drawing of Poppy and Fitz. I believe Freya was attempting to communicate something through this painting.
Any idea what it was?
I am not the person to ask. All I see is a blood-red mountain with angry storm clouds brewing above it. As such, I cannot ascertain any meaning from it whatsoever. This photograph is my favorite photograph.
So, why'd you rip it in half?
That was not me. Besides, it was not a half that was ripped off. It was only a third. It is a model of Freya, made by my father.
A model of Flora, you mean?
And a man with a beard. And a little red and white creature.
Why would my father make a model of Freya?
It's a good question.
A wooden carving of my father, made by my father. Although, now that I look at it, I do not understand how he was able to paint the red parts without any red paint.
Yeah, so we know that he replaced his paint for Freya's paint. But Freya's red paint bottle is full of blood, and we don't know why yet.
These,
Yeah, I think so. There's a note on the back.
but she never showed them to me.
Well, I think it was a gift for your mother, like a private thing between Freya and Flora.
I am scared of birds.
Why?
It is an irrational fear. I have no suitable explanation.
Oh,
Who is this her to whom the message refers?
well, I don't know exactly.
Then how can I meaningfully evaluate this object? Next! It is a flower. It reminds me of something, but I cannot say what. Now this is interesting. Where did you find it?
In the astronomy tower.
And yet, it does not concern the field of astronomy.
Nope.
In fact, you could even say that entomology is the exact opposite of astronomy.
Yeah, you could.
I would not say that, however.
Oh, you would?
No, it would be quite naive. To study science in any field is to study the connections between all matter in the universe, living or inanimate. This belongs to Professor Pointer, does it not?
No, I don't think so.
Who else would own such a pointless little telescope?
It's a telescope.
Oh yes, it has a telescopic lens, It could only be used for looking at things that are far away.
Alright.
There's something about that diary we found in Fifi's room. Something suspicious.
Do we have a suspicion?
Let's ask her about it.
Yeah.
Is this your diary, Fifi? We found it in your bedroom.
Of course it is mine. Ridiculous question.
Why is it locked up like that?
You seriously require an explanation. Very well. A fairly common concept, the so-called secret diary, is favored in particular by girls between the ages of 10
So, there are secrets written here?
and... This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
It's your diary.
It's
You've written
Fifi's
it?
diary, and she has written in it.
I'm not sure about that.
Me neither.
Wrong one.
This particular diary is unused.
It doesn't look unused.
Someone else's diary? Or not a diary? Let's say it's not a diary.
It's not a diary at all.
I'm not sure about that.
Darn it.
Me neither.
Guessed wrong.
This particular diary is unused.
Alright,
It
fine.
doesn't look
It's
unused.
somebody else's diary. It's the only option left.
It's somebody else's diary.
How could you arrive at that conclusion? It is kept in my bedroom. It is mine.
We need a clue to compare with the diary. Something to prove who the original owner was.
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
Let's take a closer look at this.
Um... It's hidden inside. This blue book was hidden inside. It's the same thing as didn't know about. It's somewhat similar. Let's say it's the same thing as the secret diary. Which proves it belonged to Freya.
This blue book is the same thing as the secret diary, which proves it belonged to Freya.
I didn't think the photo would have
You were
another
hiding
clue.
Freya's diary in your room, and you kept it locked, too.
Why would I do either of these things?
Didn't want anyone to see personal secrets. Freya didn't want anyone to see personal secrets. What's in Freya's diary?
Freya didn't want anyone to see personal secrets within Freya's diary. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
Yeah, I guess it. Freya's dead. Fifi had it.
Fifi
Oh.
didn't want anyone to see personal secrets
Correct.
within Freya's diary.
Is this true, Fifi?
I know Freya was your friend, but if you're trying to hide something,
You did not know Freya, so this might be difficult to understand. She did her own thing, in her own way. By concealing Freya's written accounts, it is simply my intention to preserve her innocence.
Innocence?
might be easier if you just let us read the diary, Fifi.
Very well. I will open it. However, as you read it, please remember, Freya was the most kind and the most wise person I have ever known.
Oh.
Alright, Fifi unlocked the diary.
Finally. What's in there?
It's back, in the flesh this time. Was it me? Did I let it out? Maybe I should rip up that painting. Soulbearer works. Impressive little thing. I have 2 now. Need 2 more. Found my way into the middle. Surprisingly simple, compared to the harp. I saw them, all 5. Eyes blacked out. Despite everything, I still have a promise to keep. I'll do my best. She could do with a little company. Alright. That didn't help. Does that change the object? Nope. Alright. Yeah, I think it is some kind of a clue. Surprised Takipo did the best she could do with a little company. I think that's something to do with the harp statue, maybe. Alright, well, let's continue on. Make sure we get all of the objects looked at.
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see. It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Alright.
Can't say I've ever taken an interest in Uncle's astronomy. On occasion I've dared to visit him in his tower, but I always regret it. It's all just a little too abstract for me.
What do you mean?
Oh, did you know the sun is apparently over 400,000 miles wide? Okay, so what should I do with that information? Just help me.
Don't look at me. You're the one who memorized it.
That's rather strange now, isn't it?
We found it in your room.
Just lying around, was it?
Nope. You'd hidden it, but we found it.
We do that.
Who's the her in the message? And what's the deal with the petals?
It's really none of your business. Yes, it's my, my flower.
You don't like it?
I'm no good at caring for plants. I forget to water them. Birds are much easier. They're a lot more vocal when they get thirsty.
Do you at least like the look of the flower?
The look?
The colors? The shape of it? Between you and me, I think it's a little vulgar.
It looks like her. It's her body shape. It's her hair at the top.
Not a fan of insects myself. Whose research is this?
We were hoping you might know.
No, can't say I... Freya, perhaps. I know she was always very fond of grubby little things like this.
Noted.
I don't know what that is.
Alright.
There's something about the report of Fitz going up Pointer Tower. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
There's something about those petals we found in Penny's room. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
Yeah, we found this.
Oh, that's nothing.
You wrote, "Now I'll get her," on a piece of paper and hid it in your room. That's not nothing.
Actually, it's not the message I wanted to ask about. It's those red flower petals.
The petals.
They're from Red Roses.
They're from red roses. And there's only one place in Tangle Tower with red roses.
We need a clue. Something that shows the roses. And who they belong to.
Let's see. I think that would be the drawings.
It's a drawing of Fitz and Poppy in the rooftop garden. See what Fitz is holding?
I can't imagine what you're getting at, but it doesn't matter. I couldn't have taken anything from the rooftop garden. It's only accessible from Fitz's room or Poppy's room. How could I have taken something from a garden to which I have no access?
Is it really only accessible from those 2 bedrooms?
For most people, it would be. But don't forget, Penny's the resident ornithologist.
My dears, what are you accusing me of?
What are we accusing her of? Angels, we've 2 sub messages in 1 stream. That works out. Okay. Was used to bribe, was used to spy on, was used to kill, was stolen from. But it didn't work. Distract them, steal evidence from them. Because they were planning a murder. Steal money from them. Work. Fifi and Fritz, Poppy and Fritz, one of Penny's birds. Was used to spy on? Or let's say it was used to spy on. Poppy and Fritz, but it didn't work.
One of Penny's
Nope,
birds
that's
was
not
used
right.
to spy on Poppy and Fitz, but it didn't work. Almost. Maybe just change one thing.
And distract them? Steal evidence from them.
One of Penny's birds was used to spy on Poppy and Fitz and steal evidence from them. We know those 2 have been spending time together in the rooftop garden. I'm guessing you got paranoid. Wanted to know what they were up to.
I'm just not the jealous type. I would never suspect Fitz of anything like that. Besides, Tabitha hardly ever leaves her cage.
Mayor Cat, thank you for the gift sub to Kite Man.
She's certainly never flown up to the rooftop garden.
We need a clue to compare with Penny's birds. Something to prove one of them has been in the rooftop garden.
I mean, probably the feathers.
Let's take a closer look at these.
Okay. Yellow feather was eaten by, was used to kill, was left behind by, makes more sense. When I visited.
This yellow feather was left behind by Penny's yellow bird when it visited the rooftop garden.
I can't stand it! Knowing the 2 of them are hidden away up there in their private little garden. I couldn't risk spying on them myself, so I asked dear Tabitha to do it for me. I knew she'd be able to bring me back some evidence.
Sorry, Penny, but are you not overreacting a little?
You don't understand. Fitz is slipping away from me. He's so quiet with me these days. But being with Poppy seems to bring him out of his shell. I don't know what he sees in her miserable little... I apologize. This really isn't your burden to bear.
Alright. Speaking of Poppy.
Feathers flashing in the light, from a sunbeam gleaming bright. I shield my eyes and turn my head, but all at once I've been misled. Light is shining on the stage, but through the railings of a cage. Eavesdrop what the stars are saying, earthly tether, slowly fraying, floating, helpless from the worst of jealous hunger, selfish thirst. Take a moment, kneel and meet the flowers growing at your feet. Was that supposed to be Flora?
Possibly.
Oh, how nice. Whose paints are those?
They belong to Felix, I think.
How sweet. I think it's kind of cruel to keep 3 birds in one cage like that.
Does Penny not let them out to fly?
Oh, she does. She must do. But I don't think they're allowed to go far. Penny can be a little protective. Those petals.
What about them?
It's nothing. They're just unusual. Never seen that one before. Was it in the greenhouse?
No, we found it in Penny's room.
Right. You get some weird insects around here. I've never seen one like that.
I'm not sure anyone has.
Freya might have. She used to keep beetles in a box in her room.
Why?
For fun, obviously. Did you find that in Fifi's room?
No. Should we have?
No, it's just... It looks like something she'd use, don't you think?
Oh, you're right.
Foregone drifter, holding fast. Days as shadow seeker past. Is it bravery or surrender? Accepting that your world will render nothing darker than the gloom. Some 4 walls make round a room.
So there's 3 people.
Felix is a contradiction. His loyalties are placed firmly within the realm of materialism, money, property. But his ego relies on an entirely fraudulent self-image, don't you think?
I was just about to say the same thing.
Fifi doesn't like me.
What did you do?
I'm not sure. If you find out, maybe you can let me know.
I imagine you don't visit the astronomy tower too often, do you?
No, but I still see Pointer, sometimes. He's always curious about what I'm growing in the greenhouse. Asks me about the birds, too, and insects. He's pretty clued up on his evolutionary biology.
I didn't think there was much overlap between astronomy and biology.
Penelope is my fiancée.
Don't take this the wrong way, but Penny doesn't really strike me as your type.
She's not who she pretends to be. People think she's... well, they make assumptions.
And how's the relationship doing recently?
Good. It's good. Poppy and I are friends.
Oh, I can buy that. Dark clothes, blue hair, an average of 3 words per sentence. Oh, you're like 2 peas in a pod.
She's very kind, and she has an interest in plants. Unusual flowers, mostly. I've been teaching her.
Right.
Is something wrong? What's with the broken glass? Poppy's piano music. I remember when she started learning. She's improved a lot since then.
Yeah, that's generally how it works.
Right. Of course.
Any idea who this is?
No idea. Wait, those are mine, the earmuffs. They went missing about a week ago.
What do you need earmuffs for?
I use them for gardening sometimes.
Why? You don't own a chainsaw, do you?
No. I wear them while I'm gardening, and it stops people from trying to talk to me.
That's genius.
Like it.
We found these up in the rooftop garden. Do you know how long they've been there?
No, could have been a long time. We don't ever really clear up the rooftop garden.
Why not?
Nature is unruly. In truth, it prefers to be left alone. Penelope knows about birds. You should ask her instead.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about something. There's a plant mentioned on this page, see? Do you have any? In the greenhouse?
No, I don't grow that anymore. I've tried, in the past. It's incredibly difficult, even for me. I could never get it to live more than a couple of weeks. Looks like someone doesn't want you to read that book.
That's the main thing making me want to read it. Fitz, one of these drawings is of you, in the rooftop garden, I think, with Poppy.
Mm-hmm. Are we done? Freya's best work, in my opinion. Although, the photo doesn't carry the same energy as the real thing.
What do you think it's a painting of?
What do you mean?
Like, what's the subject matter? What's that big red thing?
Oh, I don't think it's that kind of painting. It's Fifi and Freya.
Don't you think Poppy should be in the photo too?
Maybe, maybe not. She doesn't really like crowds.
2 people isn't a crowd.
Right, but if she was in the photo, then it'd be 3.
Checkmate.
That's quite sweet, really. Felix made that? Huh. Did Freya draw these?
Yeah. There's a note on the back too.
She was even closer to Flora than I realized. Penelope's 3 favorite birds. She's very protective over them.
Are they, like, her pets? Do they have names?
Oh, they have names. Penelope loves to name things.
Do you remember what she named them?
I do not. Those petals, they,
What?
they're red. A flower.
Yeah, it's a flower. We found it in Penny's room.
Okay.
Mean anything to you?
Why would it?
Come on.
I don't really go into Penny's room or anywhere in Pointer Tower. I just don't have a reason to. I've seen beetles with brightly colored shells, metallic shells even. They're relatively common, especially around here. There's a difference between that and actual gold.
It can't be actual gold. Gold is just inside the earth or whatever. You can't make it. That's called alchemy. It was a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
You ever seen this before, Fitz?
No, but I don't normally go into Fifi's room.
That's not where we found it.
Oh, I just thought it looks like it belongs to her.
Alright.
So, Fitz, I have a report that you were seen sneaking up Pointer Tower. Holding a knife.
That's not right. I don't go into Pointer Tower. I don't own a knife. And I don't sneak. Was it Fifi who told you this?
How did you know that?
A guess. She doesn't like me very much. But yeah, she was mistaken. Maybe she wasn't wearing her eye lens thing.
What do you think, Grimoire?
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
Fifi did see Fitz, but he was holding something else.
So, if it wasn't a knife, what was it?
What's the trowel?
What about this?
Ah, that.
Is it yours?
It was a gift. It's sentimental. I have no reason to take it up Pointer Tower. I don't use it at all.
Let's see. It's part of a magic set. No. It's the only thing that can destroy. Seems unlikely. It was used to bury. It's used by Fritz to look after. Yeah, let's say this to look after this.
An ornate trowel is used by Fitz to look after a potted flower in Penny's room.
That flower.
Yes.
I've never seen it before.
We need a clue to compare to that flower. Something that proves its connection to Fitz.
That doesn't seem right. What else do we have? Something connecting Fitz. Okay, we know these are his. It doesn't connect the flower at all to him. Maybe this one?
Let's take a closer look at these. The pot and soil in Penny's room matches the pot and soil found in Fitz's greenhouse. Let me guess. Penny's flower was originally a gift from you, Fitz. There's no way it's a coincidence.
No way what's a coincidence.
The flower. It looks exactly like Penny.
It took me a long time to breed. I wanted the colors to be exactly right.
That's some gift.
Turns out Penny isn't particularly interested in looking after plants. So I go into her room every now and again. When she's not there, water the flower, change the soil, just trying to keep it alive.
All right.
Did you get anything useful out of him?
Not sure. What about you?
Nothing worth committing to paper.
I think he knows more than he lets on.
Probably. But talking with him is so tedious. Considerably intelligent, and her powers of observation are enviable. But she has no ambition. No focus.
In her defense, she's still a teenager.
Barely.
Okay, how about Pointer?
Professor Pointer's a respectable astronomer. Keeps himself to himself.
Respectable? Really?
What?
We're just surprised.
That was the most polite you've been about anyone.
I find her rather embarrassing. Little more than a spoiled child.
Penny must be at least 25.
27. Just makes it worse.
Alright, well how about Poppy?
Poppy has remarkable musical talent. She could be famous, wealthy even, if she wanted to.
She'd probably have to leave Tangle Tower first.
Quite.
Alright, that's all the people. We've got a number of things we haven't talked to you about.
Some breed of amphibious humanoid. Potentially bipedal. Although none of the statues show the creature's feet.
I guess we'll never know.
Is that a clue?
Dunno. It was important enough to be framed, though.
I framed my law degree. Doesn't make it a clue.
Same? Yeah?
Who's that?
Not sure. It doesn't really look like anyone we've met so far.
Strange. One of 3 statues depicting the same creature. This one is wearing headphones. Perhaps they belong to someone who likes music.
They're not headphones. They're earmuffs. For blocking out sound.
Perhaps they belong to someone who doesn't like music.
Hey Thirsty Kitty, thank you for that 27-month resub. How's it going?
Do you also have a pile of leaves as a clue?
Oh, not yet. Did you see some suspicious leaves?
A book from the library. One of hundreds, no doubt. What makes this one special?
It's about birds.
Yes, I see that. A diary. Have you read it?
Not yet. It's locked.
And you haven't attempted to force it open?
That would be cheating.
When did Freya draw the picture of you, Hawkshaw?
I didn't model for her, if that's what you're asking. She must have done it without my permission.
Could just be from memory. It's not quite as detailed as the others, anyway.
I admit, it's powerful. Freya was a talented young woman.
Someone even liked it enough to take a photo of it.
Now, we don't know why they took the photograph, do we? Perhaps they just wanted it for reference. A photograph of Freya could be important. These figurines remind me of a case I once solved involving a possessed doll. Turned out to be a bit of a smokescreen, as these things often do.
Your life sounds fun. Grimoire, why don't we ever have fun adventures like that?
Are we not having a fun adventure right at this very moment?
Haksha is a detective who was brought in to try and find a thing, but she won't tell us what that thing is.
I'd tell him not to quit his day job. But he hasn't got one, has he? Does Flora still own that bird? Do you know?
Don't think so. The drawings are from a few years ago.
I see. 3 birds, 1 cage. What makes them worth keeping cooped up, I wonder? Would they not be happier flying free?
But then they might fly away from Tangle Tower entirely.
I wonder if they would. These people really are ridiculous, aren't they?
3 birds in a cage. Kind of strange metaphor for the 3 19-year-olds who can't leave the tower, apparently.
You consider that important evidence, do you? Where did you find this?
Do you have any theories about where this might have been?
Or who might have had it.
I have several theories. But they are my theories, and I'm not going to share them.
Alright then. Hey Julie, hey Sugar Shot. Raiders. How's it going? Gotta run, have D&D, have fun. Alright, see you later. Yeah, go check out my friend Sugar Shot. She streams often, and it's
This
great.
belongs to you, Hawkshaw?
Correct.
And, what is it?
It's my handheld microscope for up-close investigation work.
What do you magnify with it?
Trace particles, dust, oils, clothing fibers.
Have you used it here at Tangle Tower?
I have. I used it to examine the greenhouse only 2 days ago.
What were you looking for?
That is between myself and my client.
If you're new, my name's Heather. We're in the middle of playing a game called Tangle Tower, which is a point-and-click mystery.
There's something about Hawkshaw's handheld microscope. Something suspicious.
Let's ask her about it.
This little microscope thing? You said you used it to search the greenhouse.
And this would make perfect sense, if you knew what my client had asked me to find. Of course, I still have no intention of disclosing that information.
You're such a tease, Hawkshaw. Don't worry, we already worked out what you're searching for.
You're not as hopeless as you look.
Thanks.
So, that's what you were looking for in the greenhouse? This beetle?
Surely even you can understand the logic of it. The greenhouse is home to a great many insects. The gardener could have easily kept the beetle hidden in there.
Well, Fitz said you questioned him, but didn't actually search the greenhouse.
He is not exactly the type to appreciate subtlety. He simply didn't notice that I was using my microscope.
What do you reckon, Grimoire?
I know for a fact she didn't use the microscope in the greenhouse.
Aksha doesn't know how to use it, it's broken, doesn't work. It's not a microscope.
It's not a microscope at all.
All of a sudden, Detective Grimoire is some kind of expert on microscopes.
I think it was Fifi who said this? That this was actually a telescopic lens?
The handheld microscope, according to Fifi, uses a telescopic lens, so Hawkshaw lied about it. I'm inclined to believe Fifi when it comes to stuff like this.
Hawkshaw, why did you lie about owning a telescope?
When you were a child, what did you aspire to become?
A detective? Naturally.
Emperor of the Galaxy?
I wanted to be an astronomer.
Really?
I harbored a desire to understand the secrets of the wider universe. A fool's errand, to be sure, but a seductive one. At 15, I decided instead to apply my intelligence to the world around me, and so I became a detective. But the yearning for elusive knowledge is a powerful force. I tried to keep it with me.
Sorry, but we're way off track. What's the deal with the little telescope?
A memento of my childhood. Little more than a toy.
Why did you bring it with you?
When I discovered that it was Professor Pointer who had hired me, I dared to consider it something of a planetary alignment. I had hoped he might sign my telescope.
Aww.
An extremely childish indulgence, I admit.
I never would have guessed.
Hold on. You're admitting you didn't use it in the greenhouse then?
Correct. As it happens, I have no need to search the greenhouse to such a degree. Professor Pointer doesn't consider the gardener a suspect in our theft investigation.
So, who is your suspect?
Things have become complicated. My lead suspect
It's
is
Freya.
your murder victim.
Yeah. That's interesting. Pointer's the only one I don't have a suspicion for. Figured out. Did I talk to him about everyone? Did? That's all the evidence I have.
A picture frame.
With no picture.
It's full of tea, but it's gone cold.
Criminal.
It's tidier than my desk. The notebook is untouched. It's completely blank.
So? Even the most well-used notebooks.
It's tidier than my notebook.
So? Even the most well-used notebook. There's something kinda disappointing about this room. I just expected a bit more from an astronomy tower.
Oh, does it not compare to all the other astronomy towers you've been to?
Yeah, you're right.
Every astronomy tower needs a telescope.
I want to try.
Interesting.
I can just about see the gramophone.
Wait, that's the plant that's supposed to be really hard to
It's
make.
that little plant Flora keeps on the window ledge.
Don't you think it would fall off? In the wind.
Maybe it's glued down.
You can see right into Flora's room.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but she's not looking this way. She's looking up. Behind her is the backside of the easel holding Freya's unfinished painting. I can't really see anything behind it. Not from this angle.
Is that a window?
I think it is.
Is there another room above Flora's room?
We should check that next time we're over there. I can see the doorway. It leads into the hall. The door itself is on the floor, knocked off its hinges. You can see right into Flora's room.
Not by accident.
I can see Flora, but behind her is the back. Can't really see anything.
It's too dark back there. I can't really see anything.
Isn't this supposed to be an astronomy telescope? I'm pretty sure you need to see the sky for astronomy to work.
I can't move it. I think this is just how it's set up.
There's something about Pointer's astronomy habits. Something suspicious.
Let's ask him about it.
So, Professor, what interests you about astronomy exactly?
It's not a matter of being interested. Once you expand your mind to the wider universe, it cannot be unexpanded.
Mm-hmm. And how long have you been an astronomer?
I really don't like to give exact values unless I'm sure I can quantify them.
Convenient.
Why do you ask me these things?
I have a theory about you, Professor.
Oh? Go on.
You're trying to get a planet named after yourself. You're not really interested in astronomy at all. You discovered a meteor is headed straight for Earth. Okay.
You're not really interested in astronomy at all.
What could you possibly mean by that?
I think you're interested in a slightly different field of research.
That's not it.
Probably not this.
That's not it.
Oh, wait. I'm being silly about this.
I don't have time for tiny, insignificant insects. My studies focus only on the inconceivably large and the unimaginably far away.
Right. That's why you like using your telescope so much.
Yes, naturally. My little portal into another world.
Yeah, about that.
Alright. Trying to hide, was on top of, was actually looking at, sneaking up on. Okay. Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene. You saw a bird, somebody broke it because it was daytime, or self-reflections, and not up at the sky. Okay, well.
Pointer's telescope was actually looking at the crime scene and not up at the sky.
First you accuse me of being a lowly entomologist. Now you're accusing me of, what, spying?
Are you spying?
Why would I need to spy on Flora?
Why? Because you lost your golden beetle specimen, and it's made you paranoid. You think somebody stole it from you.
Might not have been Flora you were spying on. Might have been Freya.
It's a very precious specimen. Incredibly rare. Valuable in ways you could never understand. Freya was always sneaking around. Both towers and in the gardens, too. She was definitely up to something.
So, this next question is important. You were looking to Flora's room around the time of the murder. Did you witness the crime, Professor?
No, I didn't. When I looked into the room, Flora was already lying on the floor.
Flora? You mean Freya?
No, Flora. She was lying by the window. I couldn't see Freya at all. It was fairly dark. The telescope isn't at a very good angle. That's why I decided to head over there myself. I needed to know what was going on.
This changes your statement, doesn't it?
No, everything I told you in my statement was true.
Apart from the reason you left your tower in the first place.
Right.
Let's go over what we know about the crime scene.
There's another room up there! Ah! No, I want to go there.
Freya was definitely up to something.
Something to do with the statue in the garden, I think.
Maybe we should go back and check. And we could have missed something.
New room, new room. Don't tell me where to go, story. Can't make me go wherever I want. Attic. This some scary things in this attic.
Just dusty junk.
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this spooky attic boring you?
Kinda.
It's a statue of a wolf, standing up straight, like a man.
You know there's a name for that.
I know.
It's not quite as dusty as everything else up here. Also, it's not a statue. It's stuffed. It's a jar. The head screws off.
Huh. What is that?
Not sure. Some kind of reel?
Looks like it might attach to something.
Reel thingy. Brass reel with a screw on the top. Coiled around the reel is a length of fine red rope.
Someone painted out the window.
Do you think it was done recently?
No idea. Either way, it's pretty suspicious. At least the moths are kept well fed. Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this...
Kinda. Nothing catching my interest.
Sorry.
Kinda. Where's that light coming from?
No, it's just daylight, I think. There's a decent gap between those floorboards. Is that what I think it is? Is that what I think it is?
Interesting.
Do you know what this is?
Guess not.
What is it?
We don't know. We were really hoping you would.
My friends, shed your hope and let it fall free like sandbags from a hot air balloon.
That's the most depressing idiom I've ever heard.
I did click on the box in the attic, I think. Yeah, have it back. 'Cause there's like this box.
What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
You know, maybe I won't open it.
And then there's like this box.
Just dusty junk.
This box.
Nothing catching my interest.
I'm sorry, is this...
Kinda.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else up here.
What's this? Is it a clue?
We don't actually know. But Grimoire picked it up, so now he has to pretend it is.
That's how it works.
Is that for sewing?
Maybe?
We have no idea. Is this yours, Fifi?
I do not recognize it. And besides, I would have no use for such a thing. Perhaps it could be used to hang wet laundry?
Was that a joke?
Yes.
Who names their kid Grimoire? I don't know. It's hard to say. That could be a family name.
Where did you find this?
It was in the attic.
Oh, huh. I forgot we even had an attic.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Me 3. Oh, sorry. I thought you said me too.
What is that?
I'm not sure. It looks like it attaches to something else.
Why don't you go back and double-check the area you found it? Maybe you'll find the rest of the something else.
I'm not so sure about that.
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the Moonlight Garden most of the afternoon, and we heard this sound. Lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering, so I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do, so I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs. Just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually, she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
He emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the Fellows staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the Fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in the face.
I recognized Fiona's voice, as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer. So I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
Oh, you think everyone's in on it?
We know a little more about the crime scene now. So, what do you think? Was Freya stabbed by her own painting?
So we know blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the thing here. To distract Freya, to hide the evidence, to prove the existence of magic, to resemble a bloody knife, so it could stab Freya. Let's go with this.
Blood from the paint pot was used to paint the red tip of the painted ink dip feather to resemble a bloody knife.
I think you're right. Can't decide if I'm disappointed or relieved.
I have a question. Why?
Either it's a very strange coincidence, or somebody set it up.
Somebody deliberately put blood in the paint pot and hid that feather after the crime. Why? To distract us?
Possibly.
Well, it worked.
Possibly.
Flora's the only person who could have hidden the feather, unless someone took it from her.
Let's go over what we do know. The door was locked the whole time. It stayed locked until Fitz kicked it down. Normally, it can only be opened from the inside. Pointer said he couldn't see Freya from his telescope, but he did see Flora lying by the window.
So whatever got Freya got Flora too?
Except Flora survived. She didn't get a stab wound like Freya did.
Somebody came in through the
Hold
attic.
on.
Clearly.
If there was no knife, then what did stab Freya?
It could be anything. It might not even be important.
How is it not important?
Right now, I'm less interested in the what, and more interested in the how.
The angle of Freya's wound suggests she was stabbed at a perfect right angle. That is, from directly in front of her. But she was standing right up by the canvas.
Somehow, Freya ended up lying on her back, still perfectly in line with the painting.
Maybe something went through it.
Through the painting? Wouldn't that leave a hole?
Okay, well, how about this? How do we know Freya was stabbed before she fell over? Maybe her being stabbed and her falling over are completely unrelated.
Alright. So maybe she fell over before being stabbed. I mean, that makes sense. Hello, Krabby.
This wasn't here before.
Good, because I feel weird about missing it.
What is it?
It's a little wooden toy. Looks kind of like a crab.
There's a note stuck to the back.
What does it say? Grimoire?
This is my new friend. He likes music. Simple melodies will move his soul. Best of luck of you two, Freya. What? Wooden toy of some kind, a layer of dark ink lays beneath a sheet of glass.
What do you think? Is it really from her?
She's dead.
How can it be?
Why don't we check the handwriting with Freya's diary?
Good idea. Hold on.
Well?
It's a perfect match.
I mean, we've not seen the dead body. Because when we showed up, the body wasn't there anymore. Maybe she's not dead.
Well, it's confirmed. We have a ghost helping us.
Cool.
Let's keep this to ourselves for now.
What's up?
I'll let you know soon.
Okay.
So if you're weird banging around.
Okay.
Okay, goodbye.
Our murder suspect's either not been murdered or is a ghost.
Huh. Cool.
Close the door, please.
What about the little wooden toy thingy?
Maybe we can put it to some kind of use.
Ooh. Unfinished business. Continue. Okay, so now what? Well, we have a toy. I guess we could ask people about it. We could also try the gramophone. Won't play. Okay, maybe not. Oh, it's not in my... Simple melodies.
Oh, whatever it is, it's playing a little trumpet.
Well, it is the music room. He's got to practice.
What's with all the broken glass?
I don't know if it's reacting. Like, I feel like it's reacting to an area. This is where we found it. There was a place we went before that had a bird noise. I think I gotta collect sounds now.
That's a big.
There are weeds in
it's
there.
an aquarium.
Could be anymore.
I'm trying to remember where that was.
What are they?
Wind chimes. Silent. Wooden wind chimes.
There we go. So we got a bird song, a doorbell. Looks like there's room for about 2 more. Piano?
Yeah, it's mine.
Can you play the tune for us?
Sure. It's literally 8 notes. I have it memorized.
Oh, there we go. Piano, bird, bell. Okay. What's the other symbol? Where is that? Piano, bird, bell. Lips? Singing, maybe? Who's saying? It's not Poppy. Keith Richards' ghost.
That's a massive conch shell. Do you think there's a little crab living inside?
I hope so. It's a drinking horn.
Is it full of ale?
Right now, it's just...
No.
Is this your gramophone?
Do you know why it's cracked?
I like these drawings, Flora.
Is there a reason why you wanted us to see them? It's piano music.
So that's not going to be part of it.
You will need to be more specific. One's self cannot be summarized in a single response without doing one a great disservice.
So true.
Well, first of all, you're a fellow. So does that make you the daughter of...
Correct. My father and mother are named Flora and Felix, but you need not question either of them. It will only waste valuable time. Neither of them are capable of murder.
Thanks for the tip.
Fifi, you said you were a micro... something or other?
Microbiologist. But it is an insignificant label. My studies cannot be categorized in any one recognized field.
What made you want to become a scientist in the first place?
I harbor an intrinsic fascination with the microscopic. I constructed my first one at age 10.
Constructed a microscope?
Correct.
And what's that thing on your head? Did you make that too?
My eyesight began to deteriorate when I turned 12. Not satisfied with the eyeglasses prescribed to me, I designed this custom lens instead. It automatically adjusts based on the surrounding light conditions.
Does it glow red when you get angry?
No, but that would be most amusing.
Right? It looks like a mouth, doesn't it? Piano, bird, bell. Probably looks the closest to Flora's. What else that kind of looks like? A bridge? Wait, do you know a place with a bridge?
a little pond.
It looks really, really deep for some reason. See those metal bars around the edges too?
Oh yeah. What do you suppose they're for?
Nothing anymore. Looks like somebody broke them and then never bothered to fix it.
Oh good. A bridge. I'm glad to know there's a way to get across that tiny, tiny pond.
Not all bridges are about getting across stuff.
Ah, a little water feature.
It's making me sleepy.
Wonder how it's hooked up.
Giant stone frog? Love it.
Ah, he's got his tongue out like he's catching snowflakes.
Except those aren't snowflakes. They're feathers.
It's another little statue.
He's playing over.
He's also...
Well, they're not headphones. They're earmuffs.
Okay, maybe not here. Sound, true. Oh, try clicking on the attic again. Yeah.
Where's that light coming from?
No, it's just daylight, I think. There's a decent gap between those floorboards.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna help.
What's in that little box? I bet it's bones. A skull, at least.
You know, maybe I won't open it. Just dusty junk.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else up in the... here.
The attic's directly above us, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna try listening to the whole thing. For fun. It is just a piano recording, though. So I'm not really sure that would be this.
It's piano music.
Like, if it had singing on it. I've already clicked on the paintbrush and the bloodstain. I think it was more just we had to realize that that crack was there. We haven't run into anyone saying that, like, she would sing or anything, though. So I don't know. Crunch.
A little pot plant, balanced on the window ledge.
It's the only plant in the entire room.
Flora fellow?
Hey,
Almost playing the
sorry,
same both sides.
Sergeant. I'm
Yeah,
sure you're
there's no
still
B-side, as
in
far as I can tell.
some distress.
We need to ask you a few questions, I'm afraid.
Did you witness the murder, Flora?
Nothing.
I think it's gonna be this.
What do we do?
Not sure. She's entitled to her silence, I suppose.
For now.
So we haven't gotten her to talk at all. Closest thing we got her to do was point at a thing, and then we got it. Nope, we got a feather. We were just missing an item.
Freya's painting supplies.
A bunch of old books. Covered in dust now, but they look well read.
The whole room has a strange feeling about it.
Yeah, there might be a reason for that.
So your opinion of a walkthrough says to do something you did, but it didn't seem to work? I don't know. Looked it up and we did what it said? Okay, what's the walkthrough say we're supposed to do? Humming on the tape. Really? Play the damage tape until you hear someone humming.
Does this belong to you, Poppy?
Now that's not really my style, is it?
But who else would own a tape like this?
Literally anybody. It was my mother's originally.
So, why is it up in Flora's room?
She just gets the most use out of it. Freya would borrow it too sometimes.
Yeah, what's this referred to? It's called a crack tape. Is damage tape a different item? Oh, I just figured we hadn't come across the area for a second tape yet. Maybe? Because there's definitely a spot for one, and I've never heard humming on this. Oh, I don't remember where I found the cracked tape at this point. It might have just been here. Because it cracks along the same crack as the gramophone, so I think it's just been in this room. There's a second tape. Alright, where do I find the second tape? What room do I go to? Don't know.
That's the only door in and out of the room.
It's also on the floor.
Sure is. Guessing it's not supposed to be down there.
Pond. What, this thing?
And it's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one. Although there is something in there.
It's a cassette tape. Or it used to be.
Ha. Damage tape. Damaged by water, the ink on the tape is blurred and illegible. Well, there we go. It's an item. That's what I get for not rechecking an area that we found a thing in. Alright.
Weird.
It's someone humming, too.
Okay.
That's all 4 melodies, I think.
So, what do we do with them?
Should we go back to the gardens again?
No, I want to talk to everybody about this new tape I found. Except for her. She's not gonna talk.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same.
Goodness me. Poppy really doesn't take care of her belongings, does she?
It wasn't in Poppy's room. It was in the little pond in the garden.
Exactly! Hardly the place for it.
Okay. Well, Poppy, is this your tape?
This is mine.
Oh.
Really?
No, well, yes, it was. I gave it to Freya about a year ago.
What was on it?
Nothing. It was blank. Freya said she wanted to record something.
Any idea how it ended up underwater?
Maybe someone wanted to destroy it, but got really lazy.
Okay.
That looks like it might belong to Poppy.
Poppy's the only one who uses cassettes? Nobody else?
Where'd you dig that up?
It wasn't buried. It was underwater.
Someone trying to conceal evidence, perhaps?
I think you're the only one.
This belongs to Poppy. In fact, she owns a number of cassette tapes.
What happened to it, though?
It has been left underwater for an extended period of time.
Right. But why?
I do not know why.
Alright.
Let's try this again.
You know, I think we might be able to solve this now.
Okay, but
I'm sure we can solve this now.
I gotta look at the thing. I realized we were gonna go that way about it.
Let's try this again.
Alright. That is... Oh, am I just matching them? Oh, I didn't need a screenshot for that.
That's gotta be right.
Nothing. Maybe it's broken.
Wait, do you hear that?
Secret room, secret room.
Are we gonna go in?
Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of things I want to do first.
Do you want to enlighten me to what those are? Collect all clues. Oh, I'm missing something else. I was kind of hoping that last item slot was just supposed to be empty. Alright. Damn it. Alright, the real thingy. Damaged tape.
Are we gonna go in?
Yeah, but there's a couple of things I want. It's a stone carving. Wonder how it got cracked.
I think it's supposed to look like that. It's an egg.
What animal is that?
Hawk. Bear. Lizard.
Right, a hawk bear lizard. And it's full of the same weird water that was in the lake.
Any fish in there?
Not a single one. Although there is something in there.
It's a cassette tape. Or it used to be.
Okay. Yeah, got that. That's fine.
It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
You're supposed to say, too quiet?
It's not. It's an appropriate amount of quiet.
Alright. Let's go back here.
It's the little boat we used to cross the lake. It's the only way on or off the island.
What a comforting thought.
It's just an archway, but it seems a little ominous. Like walking through it might give you bad luck.
Too late.
That's for crab. I'm missing. Got the letter.
Do you think he'll start to move if we try to go inside?
No, I think he'll just silently judge us.
Oh.
Yeah, if you know what room it is in,
What?
that would be great.
Oh. There's an O on the floor.
Oh yeah, Tangle tour.
Tour.
Pretty sure it's in the murder room.
Supposedly, Freya was working on the painting when she was killed. Looks like she was still holding her paintbrush and palette when she fell.
Didn't even get a chance to clean her brush.
Palette has a variety of colors loaded onto the largest of black. Paintbrush is still colored with dried red paint.
Are we done?
Okay.
For now. It's about time we found out what's beneath the garden.
Yes, please. Alright, now we're going down into the basement. It's creepy down here. Well, let's start with this.
What's in there?
Bugs.
It's a little diagram of a beetle, with some incomprehensible notes scribbled next to it.
That's weird.
What?
It looks really normal compared to the beetles behind the glass.
9 beetles. All different, all dead.
Poor little guys.
There's a bunch of notes written all around them. It's mostly numbers. No idea what they mean. 9 beetles.
Poor little
There's a bunch of mostly numbers. 9 beetles.
Poor little
There's a bunch of mostly numbers. 9 beetles.
Poor little
There's a bunch of mostly numbers.
How about... Nope. Alright. Seems like the most...
A candle, perched on a barrel.
Very medieval.
I was thinking pirates.
Medieval pirates.
Glad you two can agree.
This place would never pass a fire safety inspection. Bugs. Big ones.
Looks like they're made of metal. It looks like they're being boiled, but the liquid is ice cold. A cracked glass tank with 9 little rooms. Each one has 1 or 2 insects inside.
9 dead bugs.
I can't tell if they're still alive.
I like that you called them rooms. Thirsty?
It's so dark. I can barely tell what I'm looking at.
Forensic Entomology, Volume 3.
That's an incredibly specific area of study. Chemistry apparatus.
Is it locked?
Seems likely, doesn't it? Weird-looking safe.
I'm pretty sure the latches can slide into the middle.
This is a sliding puzzle. Diagonally slide the latches until they're in the correct position. Sliding puzzle. So... Ah! Okay. A little bit different than I was expecting. Can't connect up. Oh. Something else. So weird. What do these things all look like? Wait, if I do this and I bring it back, does it go... Okay, no it doesn't. It doesn't go over everything. Okay. No, it crosses on the path. Doesn't seem right either.
That's the one.
Hey, not bad. Anything inside?
Yeah, more research.
A folder containing research notes and diagrams. 1. Our unique flora and fauna is the byproduct of a vast number of as yet unidentified chemicals. 2. These chemicals are continually present in the water, forming clouds and filling the lake. This causes a variety of mutations in plants and animals. 3. Smaller creatures such as arachnids, insects, mollusks, amphibians, and crustaceans are the most effective. However, the chemicals may travel up the food chain and cause mutations in birds and reptiles. As far as we know, mammals remain completely unaffected. Seems like you're missing potentially a section. Birds.
Whose research is this? This is some seriously in-depth research.
It's impressive, but it's incomplete. There's a section missing.
Yep. I mean, it fits.
So, this is Pointer's secret lab.
Definitely seems like he's the one using it.
I guess not a lot of people know about the secret entrance.
Right. But if Pointer's the only one who comes down here, why would he need to lock his research in a safe? Who is he hiding it from?
He's just paranoid, especially about his golden beetle.
What do you think he's trying to do exactly?
Okay. The golden beetle has been planning to kill, locked up, wasn't aware of, has been trying to breed, was hiding. The underground laboratory. Planning to kill, probably wasn't planning to.
Pointer has been trying to breed the golden beetle in the underground laboratory.
Why? Because it's rare?
Because it's gold?
Is that it?
I think so. I don't think he cares about entomology any more than he cares about astronomy. He just wants to get one over on Felix. If he can breed his own gold, suddenly Poppy's inheritance is looking pretty,
infinite. Might explain why he was so worried about losing the beetle. Maybe somebody did steal it.
Might have been Freya after all. We know she was trying to get through the secret door in the garden.
She might not have known what was down here, though. Maybe she was just curious.
Curious, sure, but not naive. I reckon she knew what was going on.
I think we're still missing the bigger picture. There's no way this is all just about a beetle. We're done.
Ready to go down? Again?
There's more down. Nice. Lowest level. Alright. It's, wet down here.
It's an old coat rack. Looks thoroughly neglected.
2 cloaks, and a green hat draped on top for good measure. Gives off kind of a dungeon vibe.
What do people actually use chains for?
The tires, tying things down, tying things up.
Nothing good.
Old cardboard boxes.
How exciting.
Oh, but there's more. They're also damp and empty.
Damp, empty cardboard boxes.
Do these puddles worry you?
A little bit, yes.
Why?
That's lake water, but it's indoors.
Ah, I see your point. There's a roll of paper up there.
I'll see if I can reach it.
Let me guess. Blank.
That's the room we're in now. It must be. It's not labeled as anything on these plans, though.
I think it already existed when this was made. The Grand Hall.
What's that thing in the middle?
I think it's that big glass tube.
The rooftop garden. Well, that name makes a little more sense in this context. The rooftop garden. Well, that name makes a little more sense. Storage.
It's Freya's room.
A bedroom.
That's Fifi's room, isn't it? A bedroom.
Penny's room, I think. Study. Wait.
I know what you're thinking. And no, we never went in there.
Yeah, exactly. There's missing.
How did we miss it?
There's no door in there. Like, even on this, there's no door. You have to come up through the tube.
That's the room we're in now. It's not
I
labeled.
think it already existed.
Music room.
The library.
It's the aviary.
This seems pretty significant.
Agreed.
Roll of parchment on which the plans for a grand mansion have been drawn. Horizontal line marks where the lake was before, and a second marks where it is now. The mansion has been built on top of a large structure above the lake, supported by pillars. Freya's room is listed as storage, a room labeled study in the center.
We're too late. This photograph has been stabbed.
Why? By what?
Not sure. Some kind of metal stabbing thingy.
Aha! Red rope on the end. A sleek but sturdy metal rod. It's been stabbed into a photograph. The rod has a curved and pointed tip like an arrow or the hand of a clock. There's a small loop on the back with a short leg with a red rope connected to it. The metal is perfectly clean and polished. I'd say we found the murder weapon.
So what's the photo?
It's been framed but is slightly damped. The photograph shows a young girl. The large man is sitting next to her. Around them are several red and white birds. A metal object was stabbed into the photo, leaving a hole near the man's chest. So there used to be more of these birds.
Do you know who it is? In the photo?
Before we do that...
A single book on a little makeshift table.
This is creeping me out slightly.
Why?
I think it's a children's book.
Mistids of the Sea and Sky, a children's picture book. Looks very old. The Ink Tip, an elegant bird with red-white plumage. The Silver Snake, an aquatic reptile with no eyes and a long tongue, who actually I think there was a statue of, with the head missing. The Soul Bearer, a crab with 3 different sized claws. And the Amphibia, Amphobi, a frog-like creature walking on 2 legs, which we've seen statues of. We haven't really seen anything for the crab outside the crab toy. That's weird.
This room looks old. Like, old.
It makes the rest of the house seem relatively modern. It's an empty bookcase.
Something tells me it's been empty for a long time. This man in the photo, he reminds me of something from one of our clues.
That's not right.
Yeah, okay. Reminds me of something from one of our clues.
That's not right.
Something which depicts the man from the photo.
Felix made a little model of him for Flora.
Yeah, makes sense when you know who he is.
Shoot, would he be Lord Fellow or Lord Remington?
Lord Fellow.
Right.
Really?
Wait, no, hang on.
Felix made a little model of him
Got it
for
wrong.
Flora.
Yeah, makes sense when you know who he
It's Lord
is.
Remington then, okay.
Lord Remington.
Remington. That makes him Flora's father, meaning the girl in the photo is...
Yeah, it's her. See the bird, too.
I never would have guessed. Times sure do change.
I don't know. I don't think she looks so different.
Okay.
Old cardboard boxes.
How exciting.
Oh, but they're also dead, empty.
There's...
Basements don't normally have windows.
We're at the bottom of the lake. We must be.
Right. But if that's the lake bed, why does it look like that?
Like what?
White, smooth, no plants, no anything. That's not what a lake looks like.
Oh, mysteries.
Where are we?
Did you notice how much light this room has? For a room with one candle?
It's all coming through the window.
I'm pretty sure lakes are supposed to be darker at the bottom, not lighter.
Why is there a room down here anyway? And why is it so much older than the rest of Tangle Tower?
We still don't really know why people came to live here in the first place.
Maybe they just wanted to get rich, like Pointer with his beetles.
I feel like the Remingtons came here for the lake, for what was in it.
It's empty, though. More empty than a normal lake would be.
It is now, yeah. Maybe we're too late.
Giant fish? Remember there was giant fish?
Let's head back up to the Grand Hall. I want to find that last room. Wow, it's dark all of a sudden.
How long were we down there?
This must be it. This thing goes all the way up.
How are we supposed to get up there?
Hang on, it's pitch black, but I think there's a switch. A ladder.
Want to go up?
Secret room. Ooh, the hidden heart. Oh, there's the crab.
Is that a crab?
It's got a translucent exoskeleton. You can actually see its insides.
Also, crabs normally have 2 claws, right? Not 3? Ugh. You sure we should be touching it?
Grimoire, don't you think it looks familiar?
The limbs of the creature can be rotated and the claws can be opened or closed. Yeah. Was something like... that? I might have to go look at the picture book again. This might have been closed.
This crab really reminds me of something.
That little wooden toy we found?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to help us. I think I've seen it more recently.
Where's my clue book? That's closed. These are open. He's kind of doing a jig.
Is that a crab?
It's got a...
Also, crabs... I guess that's wrong.
I don't think we need to guess.
What do you mean?
We have all the information we need in our case file.
Nothing.
I'm sure I've seen this thing somewhere before.
This is just more straight out.
Nope.
Wasn't this crab in that book?
Children's book?
The right arm's more straight. Really only lets me put it there or there. Like it slips into a position.
Nope.
Wasn't this crab in that book we found?
Children's book?
This crab really...
That little...
Yeah, but I think I've seen it more recently.
Is that it?
It's got...
Also, crabs... Perfect.
Oh, good.
What's this?
Something somebody didn't want us to find.
The other part of the murder weapon? Hello, music. What's up?
What is it?
Was someone trying to hide it? From us?
I don't know, but it looks incomplete to me. I want to know what happened to the rest of it. Where are the other parts?
We found them already.
Which means, Professor Hawthorne was blind about that. Professor. Detective.
What do you make of it?
Not sure. Let's keep an open mind.
You don't think the crossbow is the murder weapon?
Oh no, the crossbow is definitely the murder weapon. But that doesn't mean we've solved the mystery.
Okay. Giant snake?
Dragon?
Snake?
Worm?
That's the one.
Who are all the people in this photo?
Not sure, but it looks like someone didn't like them very much. Their eyes have all been crossed out.
These were probably their parents? This is Poppy. This might be Felix. Photograph in a sturdy wooden frame. Its dusty looks several years old. Brass plaque at the base of the frame reads, "The Ambassadors of Misted Mansion." Ah, now we know the name of this mansion. Tangle Tower was a rename. The photo shows 2 women and 3 men wearing a variety of different styles of clothing. All 5 people have had their faces crudely covered with black ink.
That photo is important. I'm sure of it.
Another photograph.
Their faces are all crossed out with some kind of black ink.
That's weird.
Oh, you think so?
No, I mean, something I just realized. Sally, did we meet any of these people here at Tangle Tower?
Well, the woman on the left looks a little like Poppy, but her style is way different. And at first I thought the guy on the top right was Felix, but now that I look at it, I don't think it is him.
Some kind of fish and a bird skull, I guess?
If that's a bird skull, we're talking about a 15-foot bird here.
Well, how about we stop talking about it? Centipede? Millipede? How many legs has it got?
Too many.
It's a wooden pinboard, hung up on one of the chains.
Looks like there's a couple of things missing from it.
Large central sheet of paper has been pinned to it. 4 lines have been drawn from a gap in the center. A smaller sheet underneath features a drawing resembling the silhouette of a cloaked figure. Oh, that must be Hawthorne. This is disconcerting.
Do those look like scratch marks to you? On the glass?
Yeah. They're on the inside. You know, in any normal room, this thing would be my main concern. In here, though, it barely makes the top 3.
An axe and some kind of hunting rifle, mounted on the wall.
Honestly, doesn't look like they've been moved in a few years.
I'm more worried about the third one.
The third one?
The one that isn't there.
Yeah, there's a mount. Probably where the crossbow went.
Crumpled up paper.
Is there anything written on any of it?
Not really. It's mostly blank. A wooden stool.
Nice chair.
It's still warm.
Maybe it's just heat from the incinerator.
Maybe. Coffee table, half-empty wine bottle, lamp left on. I'm gonna say someone's been using this room.
Someone complacent enough to leave their notebook lying around.
Several pages have been ripped out, but a few remain. Fifth investor located, finally. Can't say I harbored any optimism, but still somehow disappointed. No better than the rest of them. Took my misted friend into the music room for experiments. It works, perhaps too well. The laboratory was another disappointment. All that effort for what? He's even more short-sighted than I could have guessed. Went to the bottom. Nice view. It's been mostly cleaned out, but I have what I need. She got in. She was careful. Nothing was moved. But I know. It's time. Alright.
An incinerator built into the wall. It's still pretty hot.
Is there anything left inside?
It's mostly ashes. But yeah, there's something.
Not much more than a pile of dust and ash. Among the ashes are several black buttons. Red-colored scraps of fabric are still visible. Red-covered scraps of fabric. Oh, this is a coat?
Someone's been using this room. I don't get it. This room is in the original building plans for the mansion. But nowadays it's some big secret?
It's not a secret to everybody. At least one other person still knows about this room.
The way the notebook was left out on the table makes me think it's someone who has the room all to themselves.
Whoever it was, they left more than just the notebook. There's a whole design project on this pinboard. Feels like someone put quite a bit of effort into it.
It's a shame there are things missing from it. I'm betting it'd make more sense if we could see it all together.
That might not be impossible, you know.
Like, I think Detective Hawkthorne is just a liar when it comes down to it. Alright, we have... maybe...
That's definitely the right kind of paper, but none of the pages match up to what's on the pinboard.
There we go.
Painting from Freya's room, and those sketches. Did Freya design Detective Hawkshaw's clothes? What kind of sense does that make?
I don't think that's why Freya made that painting, but it may have been why somebody took a photo of it to use as reference. As
It's
for
not
those
a mountain.
sketches of Hawkshaw, I don't think Freya actually drew them.
It's not a mountain, it's the back of Hawkshaw. It's the hair at the top.
It was somebody else. Someone with less of a talent for art.
Doesn't exactly narrow it down. Should we go ask Detective Hawkshaw about all this?
I'm not sure. I still don't know what's really going on.
Hey. Uh-oh. What's up?
Can't see what you're doing.
I'm playing a game about murder.
I see.
Time to solve this.
All right, break out the notebook. Time to put it all together.
Let's start with this. It's an arrow for the crossbow, and it matches Freya's wound. It's the murder weapon. I'm sure of it.
Despite the fact it doesn't have any blood on it, and it wasn't found anywhere near the crime scene.
Mm-hmm. It was cleaned, then it was hidden. I don't think anybody expected us to get down to that room at the bottom of the lake.
Okay, so Freya was shot by a crossbow. Where was it fired from?
From above.
It was fired from above Freya.
Above, huh?
Yeah,
It was
our
Hawkshaw.
diagram doesn't show everything. Let's add in the rest of the crime scene.
The attic.
Perfect hiding place. We even found a part of the murder weapon up there. The reel was used to pull the arrow back up through the crack in the floorboards.
Explains why we never found a weapon at the crime scene, I guess.
The murderer must have dropped the reel in the attic. I'm guessing they were in a hurry to escape.
Wait. The arrow was fired through the crack in the floorboards?
Yeah, it's directly above where Freya was found lying on her back.
Nope. Doesn't add up. It would have missed her if she was still standing up by the painting.
Ah, right.
Unless... Freya was already lying on her back before the arrow was fired.
I think so too.
Relaxing, unconscious, already been killed? Probably not.
She'd fallen unconscious.
Something in the room caused Freya to fall unconscious.
Paint fumes? The gramophone. Probably not paint fumes.
The gramophone.
Right.
But the gramophone by itself can't do that.
Something in. It was the music being played?
It was the music being played.
What?
Okay.
Let's try that again.
Something in
But
it.
the gramophone by itself can't do that.
There is something in the gramophone.
Mm-hmm. Something small.
It might not be right. Something small.
That's not it.
No? Thought the crack for sure would have been right. Check.
That's not it.
Pointer's research says it can emit an incredibly loud hiss when it feels threatened. Poppy and Fitz both said they heard a loud noise around the time of the murder. Neither of them had any idea what it was.
This seems a little far-fetched. Is it really loud enough to knock someone out?
No, I don't think so, not by itself. But don't forget, it was being amplified by the shape of the gramophone. Now, I don't think we're purely talking about volume either. It might just be a particular type of frequency.
This is getting kinda scientific. Since when do you know anything about the effects of weaponized audio frequency?
I don't, but I think someone else does. Do you remember that statue we found in the music room? The horn it's playing. It's a pretty similar shape to the one on the gramophone. That broken glass isn't there on accident. This is someone's science experiment.
Thinking about it, Pointer said he saw Flora was knocked out too. I guess they were both in range of the noise, although Pointer might have been lying.
Personally, I think he was telling the truth about that. It's pretty clear a powerful frequency did pass through Flora's tower. Caused quite a bit of damage, too.
What was affected by the powerful frequency? Okay, that might be where the paints are.
Those cracks didn't appear out of nowhere. Freya's paints, the pink cassette tape, and the gramophone itself, they all sustained similar damage while they were in that room.
That's some seriously powerful vibration. Enough to crack metal. Enough to knock someone out all the way across a room.
Yeah, that's the one thing I don't get. If the frequency was so powerful and had such a big range, how did the murderer pull it off? Wouldn't they have been in range too? Think about it. They can't have been much further away
the
from the
earmuffs.
gramophone than Flora was.
They protected
They
themselves.
protected themselves.
How?
These are some pretty heavy-duty earmuffs. I think they'd be enough to block out the sound.
Right. Let's go over everything from the start. 1. Freya is painting Flora's portrait. They're listening to music on the gramophone.
2. The murderer is hiding in the attic, wearing earmuffs.
3. The golden beetle starts to emit its hissing noise.
Hold on. How did it know?
The beetle?
Yeah. What triggered it at that particular moment? Pointer's research said it makes the noise when it feels threatened.
I'm not sure. Maybe something in the music?
Maybe.
4. Freya and Flora are both knocked unconscious by the vibrations. Freya lands on her back. She drops the brush and palette by her side.
5. The murderer fires the crossbow directly downwards.
6. The arrow is pulled back up on the reel.
7. The murderer leaves the attic. Presumably.
8. The door is kicked down. Fitz and Poppy enter the room.
Like, how did the blood get into the...
That's it.
There's still a bunch of unanswered questions.
There's something bothering me.
What?
I just want to check something. Let's go back to the crime scene.
Okay, so I'm trying to find something new.
I can see the stars. Freya, did you leave us a clue?
Paintbrush is still covered in red paint. No, that's just paint. What am I looking for?
The answer is in the painting. I'm sure of it.
There's a second plant. It's not on the ledge.
So what's bothering you?
Something that's not here. The thing we didn't find. We know she was holding it during the painting.
Flora's ink-dipped feather?
It was here.
Oh, okay.
In this room. Where'd it go?
Didn't we? No, we never did find it, did we?
We never found it.
You sure about that?
Not entirely. Flora's ink-dipped feather?
It was here. In this room.
Okay, then we found it
Where'd it
somewhere else.
go?
We found it somewhere else.
That's not it.
No? Okay. Right. Being silly. Focusing too hard. Missing out on the obvious.
We were a little too late to save it.
So it was stolen from the crime scene. And ended up in the incinerator down in the study.
Someone wanted to destroy it, I guess.
But how? How was it stolen from up here in Flora's tower?
Presumably, Flora dropped it when she fell unconscious.
Yeah, and then what? The murderer couldn't have stolen it if they were up in the attic.
So the question is, how could they steal something from a room they weren't able to access? The final clue about the crime scene. Freya left it for us right here.
In the unfinished painting in the gramophone.
It's in the unfinished painting. It's not quite a photo, but still, it's an image of the crime scene recorded just before the murder. If only she'd finished it. Then I could be totally sure.
It's true she never finished it, but she did intend to finish it.
Meaning?
We know more about the painting than what Freya actually got down on the canvas.
How did Freya show us her intentions for the painting?
That's not it. That's not it.
Would she have come into contact with?
Freya prepared all the colors she was going to need before she started painting.
The yellow paint's not touched. Added by the murderer. That's not possible. Something sitting in the window. That doesn't seem right.
The yellow paint was going to be used to paint this sketch of something sitting in the window.
Something in the window. Oh.
Something yellow in the window of Flora's tower. What would show?
That's not it. That's not it. There she is.
That's silly.
Our little thief.
How long has it been there? Did it hear the whole conversation?
She did, but she's a very good listener.
Hi. What up?
Well now, I think this has quite served its purpose, don't you?
Penny, why did you...
It's Penelope, if you don't mind. But before we begin, isn't there a certain formality demanding our attention?
Oh, do I tie her hands or do I leave her untied? I guess she's murderer. What do I have? I have the real thingy. That's about it.
Lovely. Now, tell me, what was it that drove you this far? I'm ever so curious.
Need to know the truth. Justice for Freya.
Justice for Freya.
Is that right? Interesting.
Why did you do it, Penny? What did Freya do to you?
Absolutely nothing.
So, what? You just hated her indiscriminately?
Freya Fellow was an inspiration to us all. She was possessed of great energy. The volition to create something from nothing. The willpower to walk beyond her boundaries. She was truly free. Everything I couldn't be.
Okay.
You know what? I just realized I actually have no idea who Penelope Pointer really is.
Weird, isn't it? Considering we've met her, what is it, 3 times now?
Exactly. How do we know this one isn't a disguise too?
You think you've already hollowed us out, don't you? Only a few short hours at Tangle Tower, and you feel like you've got everyone sussed. Unearthed every single one of our secrets. Nothing but bullet points for your notebook. Go on, indulge me. What does it say in your notes about Penelope Pointer? Suppose I can't argue with that, can I?
Penny, we only know what you choose to tell us, so why not help us out?
Very well. Penelope Pointer is actually not very important at all. She pales in comparison to those who came before her and to those that came after.
Cheerful.
Living at Tangle Tower, it is very difficult to attain the levels of self-realization you probably take for granted.
You sure this is a Tangle Tower thing, and not a you thing?
Perhaps you didn't notice. Not one of them is happy, not one.
So why stay? Why not just leave?
I thought she did leave. Penny, you said you traveled, didn't you?
I did. Many times I've walked away. It did not help me. You saw the family tree hanging in the grand hall, did you not?
Yeah, it lists a bunch of people who don't live here anymore.
A bunch of people who don't live here anymore. I couldn't have put it better myself.
You seem angry.
My mother, for one. My father, too. The other 2 Remingtons. Poppy's mother, Primrose. And her brother, Richard.
And Fitz's father.
That's 5. 5 people that might have lived here, but don't.
And that was the first question I wanted answered.
You wanted to know where they'd all gone?
More than that, I wanted to know if I belonged with them. I have no place here. Not among the Fellows, the Remingtons, or the Pointers. But I felt there must be a reason why everyone else left. Some common purpose they all shared. Perhaps it could be my purpose, too.
So, what did you actually do about it?
Nothing I could do, at first. Nobody would tell me anything. The more questions I asked, the fewer answers I got. Then, I found it. I was 19. Same age Freya is now.
Found what?
The study?
The study. The one hidden in the middle of the house. It's right next to her bedroom.
I'd hear voices at night. Deep ones. And the strangest thing, the wall behind my bed would get incredibly hot. For hours on end. The paint would peel. Wallpaper wouldn't stay up. I thought I was cursed. I thought it was something trying to break through.
Creepy.
Eventually, I couldn't take it anymore. I found my way in the same way you did. Once you know it's there, it's simple.
So, you got into the study and found the incinerator. That must have been a relief, right?
It was still warm when I found it. Then, I looked inside.
Oh, there's so many secrets.
Let's see how thorough you've been. Tell me, do you know what a misted is?
Misted?
It's like a cryptid, right?
Mistids? Sure, yeah.
You're more observant than I thought.
Sorry, what are we talking about?
It's a collective term from before my time. Birds, insects, amphibians, anything living off the lake water. The mutation can take several generations, or it can happen overnight.
Wait, mistids, like cryptids, like Bigfoot or whatever.
A little egregious, isn't it? I suspect that was an intentional parallel. The main difference being mistids are perfectly real. They're just kept secret. Or at least, that was the original plan.
Alright.
As it happened, some got out. Quite a few got out.
How do you know all this?
When I entered the study at 19, I found a single object that rather changed my life. Something which answered my questions while at once creating all new ones.
Alright, what would she have found? The birds, maybe?
That's not it.
No. This file doesn't make sense. Statue.
That's not right.
Not the bird book. Beetle?
That's
No,
not
that would
right.
have been in the laboratory. No, those wouldn't have been down the group photo, maybe?
The 5 missing family members standing together as a single unit, calling themselves the ambassadors of Misted Mansion.
So, the house was renamed from Misted Mansion to Tangle Tower?
Rightly so. The age of Misted Mansion is long past. When I looked inside the incinerator on my first
By the
visit
way,
to
Chad,
the
I've been
study,
ignoring you for
I found
several
nothing but
minutes
ash.
because I do want to
The
figure this out
afterimage
on my
of
own.
bygone era denied
So,
to me
feel free to talk
in
if
its
you want.
entirety. The study, the room at the bottom of the lake itself, all empty shells. I felt my only hope lay with the ambassadors. If I could find them, maybe they'd share the family history that Flora and the others were trying so hard to forget.
How did you track them down?
It was tough. They'd taken almost everything. Books, maps, charts. The creatures themselves, all lost. Taken away or destroyed. But I got lucky. I got a lead. I found one, and he led me to the rest.
And? What happened? Why'd you paint out all their faces?
They didn't help you either, did they?
19-year-old me had imagined they'd all left with a mission,
Oh,
a unified purpose.
they didn't.
But they hadn't. They were, in fact, every bit as fractured as the people that still live here. Most of them had left tracking escaped mystics. Some claimed to be researchers, others little more than hunters. All 5 completely useless to me.
Even your own parents?
Eventually, I returned to Tangle Tower. I had nowhere else to go. I considered giving up. But instead, I made a decision. There was only one person at Tangle Tower still of interest to me. My dear Uncle Pointer had suddenly made a show of taking up astronomy. A fairly superficial charade. I don't think many people were fooled by it. But I knew it wasn't just a falsehood. It was a mask. Pointer had found something from the era Mr. mentioned.
Okay, that would have been the Beatles.
So where did he get the beetle?
I cannot be sure, but I theorized that he received it in the post.
In the post? From who?
Who can say? Someone outside Tangle Tower. But the thought that he would be in contact with such a person, all that time, decided to take what was owed to me.
So you stole it.
Stealing the beetle turned out to be only the first step. Upon realizing it was gone, Pointer made little effort to disguise his frustration. I asked what was bothering him. He foresaw no risk in sharing a little of the truth with his niece. He told me he'd lost a rare treasure, something he'd been keeping safe. I suggested, innocently, that perhaps it was not lost. Perhaps it had been stolen. He was very ready to believe he'd been the victim of theft. When I offered to call in a private detective, he jumped on the idea. She arrived the next day. Hawkshaw prides herself on her punctuality, as you know.
Why, though? Why go through all that? The name, the costume, and everything?
It's somewhat sad to admit, but I had little use left for Penny Pointer as she was. Hawkshaw afforded me new advantages, opportunities.
But didn't you have to pretend to be working for Professor Pointer?
Well, that was one of the advantages. Pointer was in such a desperate state, he was finally willing to share some of his secrets. On the second day, Hawkshaw explained she needed to be able to search the secret laboratory. Pointer gave in, and gave me the code for the harp statue. Reluctantly, but still.
So, you stole Pointer's research?
I would have done, if I'd found anything worth stealing. But he had made remarkably little progress, barely scratching the surface of the beetle's true mystery.
Which is?
Carries an exoskeleton approximately 90% identical to gold. But it's not the 90% I'm interested in. Did you ever question what exactly makes the water here so unique? Before Misted Mansion was built over the lake, before the lake was even a lake, Lord Remington and his wife built a small structure here, a research station, supposedly. Fast forward 2 or 3 generations, and as you saw for yourself, it's been mostly cleared out.
The ambassadors took everything when they left.
And everything they didn't take was burned in the incinerator. However, possessing additional insight, I found something the others had missed. It's not much, but I have what I need.
So, why isn't this the end of the story? Why did you stay? Why did you kill Freya?
Yes, these are the answers we'd like. The will of Freya fell out. Freya probably found out something she wasn't supposed to.
Simply put, Freya was too good for me. It's my fault. I pushed her over the edge, unknowingly, but still, I take the blame.
What are you talking about?
Did you know I based the design for Hawkshaw on something Freya painted?
Ah.
That's right. I had assumed it was purely abstract. I just thought it had a good energy. I later discovered it was a figure of some kind, something from Freya's recurring nightmare. For all her vitality, I think Freya was probably the most troubled of all of us. She was desperate to leave Tangle Tower, but she couldn't just walk away. For quite some time, she'd been trying to break into Pointer's laboratory. Freya and her friends were halfway through deciphering those symbols on the harp statue, I believe.
Why did she care about getting into Pointer's lab?
That's exactly what I wondered. At first, I thought perhaps she just wanted to free the beetles. She has a fondness for them. What Pointer was doing upset her significantly. But in fact, I think it was something else. I think she wanted to free Fiona. The real reason Freya was unable to leave Tangle Tower is that she could not get Fiona to agree to come with her. We're now firmly in the realm of speculation, but I think Freya felt that exposing the darker secrets of Tangle Tower, not just to the rest of the family, but to the world, would compromise all three families, and perhaps, somehow, free Fiona from the shackles of her inheritance. That was her plan anyway, but something happened before Freya could find her way into Pointer's laboratory.
She found her way into your study, found your notes, found that photograph. I'm willing to bet she put it all together quicker than we did.
So she worked out what had happened to the 5 ambassadors. Specifically, what you'd done to them when they refused to help you.
Oh, Freya was murder
Freya
number 6.
had made a promise to paint Flora as a birthday gift, a parting gift no less. She'd be in a locked room, several hours away from her friends. It was my best chance.
But why hide in the attic? And why bother with the beetle at all?
The beetle in the gramophone wasn't for Freya. It was for Flora. She didn't deserve to be involved. She suffered enough. I couldn't get Flora out of the room, but if she could be unconscious, then she wouldn't have to witness anything.
Why the knife? The illusion of the painted knife with the blood.
That was for Fiona. And Poppy too, I suppose. Gave them something to focus on.
You mean it distracted them while you made your escape?
It helped them cope. The very idea of something abstract, something supernatural. I believe it made things marginally less painful for them, initially. It worked on you, too.
So why are you still here? Why not take your first chance and leave?
Well, I've been waiting for an opportunity to get my beetle back. I'd really rather not leave without it.
Wait, it's still here?
It's still inside the gramophone.
Oh. This is how she gets away. Guess it doesn't matter that we tied her up. Oh, she took her boat. Wait, how are we getting home?
What's going on?
Poppy, they are both awake.
I can see.
You two all right?
My head hurts. What happened to us?
You were both unconscious. 14 minutes by my count.
Really?
You're both fine. No injuries.
Was it the beetle? In the gramophone? I heard it through the ceiling in my room.
The exact same sound we heard before the murder.
I guess it must have been.
So how did we get down here? What happened to Penny?
Fit saved both of you, obviously.
When I reached Flora's tower, you were both unconscious, and Penny was crouched down beside you. She had her crossbow on her, but who knows? She may have just been checking you were both asleep.
Did you know that she was the murderer?
Poppy and Fifi suspected her. Apparently, they were pretty close to solving it themselves.
Fitz did not want to believe us, because he liked Penny. A lot.
Aw.
But what happened? Fitz, what did she do when she saw you?
She jumped out the window.
What? Did she survive?
She did.
I heard something land in the garden outside my room, but by the time I got out there to check, she was already gone.
Hang on. Poppy, why do you have Penny's hat bird?
She left him behind. I found him sitting on the floor in the aviary, all by himself. Poor little thing. The mean lady didn't care about you at all, did she? No, she didn't.
I apologize. Poppy seems to be under the illusion that the bird can understand human language.
So, Penny got away.
I'm afraid she did.
We had suspected she might try to escape. I was stationed here by the lake's edge. I proved to be an ineffective guard. She took the boat.
Did she take the beetle with her?
Nope.
How do you know?
Because it's right here.
It was still in the gramophone. I guess I scared her off before she had a chance to take it.
Poppy, what are you going to do with it? Are you going to give it back to your father?
No, I'm not. It doesn't belong to anyone. So, I'm going to put it on the ground and never bother it again. I think that's what she would have wanted.
Neat. That was real good. Wonder if there's a different ending? Maybe. I don't know. So we had different options at the end. Like whether or not we could tie her up, which I don't think would have changed anything. Particularly in her getting away. We had other stuff we were able to say as well, but I think it might just go with different text. Like, it doesn't really feel like there's definitive ending stuff. According to the walkthrough, this is the ending. Yeah, if they make a sequel, I'd be up for that. I believe it's been said that there's a prequel? Detective Grimoire or something? I'll have to go look that one up. Alright. Well, that's Tangle Tower. We went an hour over. I didn't even see the time. Well, alright. That's fine though. 2 prequels. Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to go looking. Twitch. Who is streaming right now? Oh, Ian's streaming. Sure. Send you all over to Ian. He's playing Yakuza Kiwami 2. Yeah, I'd seriously recommend, if you can, checking out probably the game and probably anything else. I'm gonna be looking up some other stuff by this group, I think. Yeah, but that's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna go and we'll raid Tilty House. Next stream is Sunday at 7 p.m. We'll get a new game going. Maybe maybe I'll download Super Crush KO. I'll see y'all later.